Shane, thank you for being on What's Going Down in Bruin Town today.
Thanks for having me.
I can't say I'm not intimidated talking to an actual host when that's what I want to be when I grow up. So talk a little bit about your past and how you got involved in the whole media world.
It's been a long road. I played baseball in college and had an injury, so that kept me from playing professionally. So I had to kind of hustle, and luckily I had majored in TV and radio broadcasting. So about 1999, I'm dating myself, I got an internship at a local Fox station in Jacksonville, Florida, and I started as an editor, and then I was a cameraman, and then they put me on the air as kind of like the station host, the face of the station, like a VJ. And so from there I just kind of build on what I really fell in love with, being on camera and hosting and being a journalist. So I became a local news reporter, entertainment reporter, and I moved around from market to market. I went from Jacksonville to Pittsburgh, my hometown, was a reporter there. Then moved from Pittsburgh to San Francisco. I hosted a red carpet show and like a Entertainment Tonight type show out there. And then from there, I got out of local TV and went to host a show called Designed to Sell on HGTV. And that really kind of changed for me, not only the recognition and like that celebrity, because I had no idea how many people watch HGTV, a lot. And I spent about 4 years doing that, about 7 seasons hosting Designed to Sell, and then ended up in Nashville because I've always wanted to host a talk show. So I moved to Nashville to host the local show here called Tennessee Mornings, and I did that for a year. And then I said, I want to start doing my own thing and hosting my own content. So I got into country music hosting, and I started a web show called Music City 411, which I've been doing for the last year or so. That it's just a weekly short-form entertainment magazine show. It's musiccity411.net if you want to check it out. And then in doing that, I got called by Extra, the producers of Extra, to be their country correspondent. So now I'm doing my own thing with Music City 411, but now I'm the country correspondent here in Nashville for Extra with Mario Lopez and Maria Menounos in Los Angeles.
Oh, wow. You've dipped into a lot of different things.
I've done a lot, and it's amazing. You said when you grow up you want to be a host. Well, believe it or not, you're hosting right now. So you're doing what you want to do. And you and I talked. You took the initiative to call me and ask me for some advice, and I told you to do this. And now this show is successful, and people are watching it, and people are, because I keep track, I watch. So I'm proud of you for taking my advice and just doing something. With YouTube and Vimeo and all of these free, Spotify, all these free sources for online content, you have to take advantage of that now. And I mean, all the experience that I have in my life, and people, I get stopped and asked for a photo sometimes, where because of HGTV, I'm still doing my own show online. So it's kind of funny that people go, what, you're doing an online show, but we're ahead of the curve, and you're ahead of the curve by doing this, so I say stick to it.
Well, thanks. Well, with Music City 411, who you think would be your most favorite person that you've interviewed so far? I know you recently had a pretty big one.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough to beat Miss Dolly Parton, but just a couple weeks ago I had a chance to sit down with Dolly for Extra, actually. They called me and I did a 20-minute exclusive interview with her about her new project called An Evening with Dolly. So that was pretty cool for me because it's one of those bucket list interviews because she's legendary. I've interviewed a lot of A-list celebrities, when I was doing the Hollywood stuff in San Francisco. So, I mean, I've interviewed all the major actors and actresses, but for me, Dolly Parton was one that was a pretty big sit down for me because, I've grown up watching her and she's kind of an icon. So as far as probably the most famous person I've ever met would be Dolly Parton, and that just happened a couple weeks ago. And it's funny, I was telling you earlier that I've never been so sick in my life. I got food poisoning the morning of the interview around 2 a.m. and I had about 8 hours to overcome it, and I didn't overcome it. I was sick, really sick during the interview, but it was one of those deals where I just said, I'm not going to miss this opportunity. So Dolly had no idea how sick I was, but my producer did. But I just kind of had to suck it up and get through it, and I'm glad I did because it was one of those things that now, I get to talk about and tell my kids about, that I interviewed Dolly Parton. Yeah.
Well, now I want to tell the audience, of course, where they can find you and your show. So I guess give a shout out with your website, your Twitter.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. It's @ShaneTallant. You can Music City 411 has a Twitter as well. It's at Music City 411, and then our website that has all of our daily blog posts and our episodes is musiccity411.net.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Shane, for being on this week's episode, and I'm hoping people will definitely tune in and keep up with you. But thank you guys for watching this week's episode of What's Going Down in Bruintown, and until next week, I'm your host, Kayla Becker, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Hey guys, I'm Samantha DeBucari, your sports correspondent for What's Going Down in Bruintown. Today I'm here with JJ Mann, sophomore basketball player. He's a shooting guard, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about his surprising transition to another sport. So let's take a listen. So do you want to tell us a little bit about how you got to play a different sport at Belmont?
I would love to. Well, I live with two soccer guys, Charlie and Nico, and they had some injuries this spring at the goalie position. So they asked me if I wanted to come out, and Coach Earl, soccer coach, asked Coach Bird if it would be all right, and he said yes. So I took the initiative and went for it, and did extremely well.
So you play goalie now for Belmont Soccer. How many games did you play? Or is it going to last for a long time, or is it just for a little period?
I don't think I'm going to get called back. They have a senior coming back. I played 3 games, gave up 6 goals. But I had a shutout, so I ended it with a shutout. So, but yeah, it was just for the spring. They needed some help, so I decided to help them out. But I don't think I'm going to get called back.
So, had you ever played soccer before, or was this literally your first time ever playing the sport?
Besides maybe like the 4-year-old Jets that I was on, no soccer experience at all. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing.
Did you enjoy playing goalie, or do you think that you could have played another position or anything better?
I definitely could not have played another position. I have no foot-eye coordination at all.
Only hand-eye.
Yes.
Okay.
But goalie was great. It was a lot of fun. And I got some action, which was good. But it is extremely nerve-wracking back there.
It is, because you're the one who has to stop the goals from actually getting in the goal, and it's all on you. Yeah. But you had good defenders, blocking you, right?
Average defenders. Bradley and Austin, I think they need to spend a lot. They have a big offseason ahead of them. They have a lot of work to do. No, they're really good. But, yeah, the worst feeling ever is giving up a goal. I was sick to my stomach. I'd rather airball 3 than give up a goal.
Okay, good. So thank you for telling us a little bit about soccer. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your 2 years at Belmont playing basketball so far, just briefly?
Absolutely. Played 2 years, won 57 games. So I've been really fortunate. I don't think a lot of 2-year guys have been able to say that. Made 2 NCAA appearances. All the older guys on the teams have been great. It stinks that they're leaving now. Yeah. But it's been a fun ride, and I'm excited for the next 2 years.
Good. Okay, well, thank you so much. Just want to tell everyone that there will be no more JJ Mann on the soccer field, only the basketball court. But he had fun. So thanks again for watching. And again, I'm Samantha DeBucari, your sports correspondent for What's Going Down in Bruintown. Have a good week. Hey guys, I'm Samantha. I'm filling in for the fashion segment of What's Going Down in Bruintown. I'm here with Saachi, who works for Saachi, an accessory company.
Yes.
And she would like to tell us a little bit about her products and how she's been doing with it. So let's take a listen to Saachi.
We started off with a bunch of scarves and shawls, and sooner or later we were getting all these responses, but then it wasn't enough. So we wanted to push in more design, and then we started doing crystal bangles and embroidered shoes, and now we're doing tunics. So it's been going really well. We do a collection. Our customer really likes the fact that we use beautiful quality material and mix it with a little bit of a Western style. So that's what our company's all about.
Good. So it's very unique, the jewelry. I've never seen stuff like this before. So beautiful. And does that have to do with your heritage, with Indian culture and stuff like that? Do you want to bring that to America at all?
Yes, we did. I think that our culture is really rich. We are all about the bling, and we are all about the color, and we are all about all the beautiful silks and cashmere. So yeah, these bracelets are a really unique design, and they are so cool because they just kind of stack with each other, and you can really mix and match. And I think we wanted to give our customer a little bit of bling that they can play with.
Great. And I hear you've been recognized by someone very important. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Oprah Magazine had picked up our marquee bangles, and I think a few other crystal bangles, and they had showcase them on their magazine, and that was great business for us. So we've been showcasing everywhere now. It's been wonderful.
Good. Is there a certain place where people can buy your products, online or a store or anything like that?
Yes, we have our own retail website. It's called SaachiStyle.com, and we are selling to Anthropologie, we're selling to Soft Surrounding, a bunch of museums. We're pretty much anywhere if you check us out.
Great, that's awesome. Again, guys, this is Saachi with Saachi Accessories, and we'd love for you guys to come go to her store or, website, just check her out. And we will see you next week on What's Going Down in Bruintown. Bye.
So this is one of our Maya collection scarves, and it's a rayon scarf, so it's a little bit softer. We did this for our customers who have a lower point budget, and I like to wear something like what Samantha's wearing, something that's a little subdued and toned, and throw something much brighter on top. I just like to keep it loose, give it a little tie, and throw on a little sparkle. She's set to go.
Well, this is the scarf, everyone, from Saachi, and the bracelets, the shoes, and come take a look at all of her stuff. It's wonderful, and you won't be disappointed.
SaachiStyle.com. Visit us.
Yes, visit that.